Hello, friends and knife nerds. This is a closer look at the Vosteed Talarurus. So, the Talarurus is a dinosaur, and it is a spiky-tailed and shelled armadillo, I think is the best I can do. I'm going to throw an image up here, hopefully, and you'll get an idea. So, moving on, the knife. Really cool. They have the same aesthetic, Vosteed. I'm glad they stick to it. This reminds me of the Dachshund, which is an excellent knife, and it's just kind of like a slightly budgetier Dachshund, but there's nothing cheap about this knife. I like it. Yes, we have 14C28N, which is a very good budget steel, but I will. 14C28N is it's probably my ideal budget steel. If I could ask for one in a knife, it would be that. Or I also like 10-9CR. There's a few others that are actually very good, and I'll never complain about having it in a knife. So we have micarta scales, a steel liner that has been milled to reduce weight in there. And overall, this thing doesn't weigh very much. It's 3.43 ounces. Let's double check that. Shwink. Spot on, 3.43. All right, cool. Yeah, that's a nice, easy to carry weight for a knife. And ergonomics. Okay, choking back. Nice. Pointer finger falls into that hole very comfortably. You can choke up. This is almost like a choil, for a finger choil, whether it's just a huge sharpening choil or a finger choil, I guess probably up for discussion. But either way, it functions nicely in case you want to choke up. Just be a little careful there. We have the crossbar lock for the locking system, which works nicely. No sticking. So that is good. Now, what I do like is when they put a spacer in for the reversible pocket clip, and they did that here. The all black look looks nice. Deep carry, tip up, nicely centered blade, and it looks like we have T8s all around this thing. Am I not mistaken there? I believe that's the case, that we're just full of T8, which I'm happy to see. So the big difference here is we have a disc as the deployment form here. Now, I mean, I love thumb studs, but discs it's a nice change. It's not an obnoxious disc. I love the color with the anodization they did here. It looks great. It feels nice. There's a little bit of jimping along the sides, so you can do a side flick, or one of the other things I like to do is to get behind it with my thumb and flick back and out. A couple ways to open it, and that's nice. It's just cool to mix it up a little bit. So the blade here is a really cool, kind of tough, mean-looking design. It's got that Vosteed attitude in it, and I like it. It's sheep's footian, I would say. Somebody might call it a reverse Tonto or a Warncliffe. I just want to say sheep's foot because of this roundedness here, and it does come to a point, so it's really tough to say. But what really matters here, and you have a belly, so that's a case for the reverse Tonto. It's not exactly flat, although it's close. But what matters here is this is a very good utility blade. Nice, strong, precise cuts can be done with this type of blade, and that's what matters. Whether you're pulling, pushing, or dragging, you're gonna get nice cuts. That is what matters here, folks, and you know that. So, ergonomics are nice. The blade's nice. This is a very Vosteed in design knife. So let's compare it to a few other Vosteeds. Let's break out the Corgi. Pivot to pivot. And another classic, the Nightshade. Okay, there we go. These are all about the same size. So this, the Talarurus, is, what is that? 7 1/8 inches, like 5 thou over that, if that. So 7 1/8 inches is really close. The Corgi is just about a hair shorter, probably 7 inches. I forget exactly. And this is about the same, maybe 7 1/4 inches. Let's bring in 2 more classics. In my opinion, what I consider to be classics. Of course, the Valkyrie, one of my favorite knives here. And the Raccoon, one of the originals for Vosteed, one of the best. Beautiful blade shape. I love that blade shape. So yeah, comparable, yes. Now, so this is probably, when you look at some of these classics, it's probably on the smaller side. It is relatively close to the Corgi, which I consider a small medium EDC. So so yeah, but that's great. That's EDC should be, when I'm thinking of an easy to carry knife that isn't going to be for camping or outdoor. This is something for me to carry around work. I don't want something too heavy, and I don't want something too big all the time. You know, it all depends. Really, it does. That's what I think of. What am I going to be doing today before I grab my knife for the day? And if I need, I'll grab a second knife. And I know a lot of people carry much more than that. I usually just carry one, folks. I know a lot of people carry more than that, but I just carry one. But yeah, this is definitely, it's been in my rotation for the last 2 days, and it's going to stay in my rotation for at least the next couple till I need something different. I like this knife, and I think they did a great job over at Vosteed. See you, folks.